John had always been the kind of person who made big plans but rarely followed through. In high school, he was one of those students that teachers said had potential, the kind of potential that floats like a promise in the air, never quite landing anywhere solid. He was smart, yes, creative, definitely, but he was also a master of delay. Every time a deadline approached, John would comfort himself with the same words, "I'll start tomorrow." That phrase became his mantra. If he didn't finish his assignment today, there was always tomorrow. If he didn't study for that test, he could cram later. And when he didn't apply for the internship everyone was talking about, he told himself there would be other chances. Tomorrow was his safety net. Until it wasn't. It wasn't one moment that broke John. It was hundreds of small ones. Like the time he failed a quiz he knew he could have passed, or when he saw his classmates presenting projects they had spent weeks working on while he threw together slides an hour before class, or when he sat at home during summer break, scrolling through Instagram, watching his peers intern at companies, volunteer abroad, start side businesses, while he sat in the same room, doing nothing much. At first, regret felt like a mosquito bite, small, annoying, and easy to ignore. But over time, it became an itch he couldn't scratch, a weight on his chest. It wasn't about failure, it was about knowing deep down he hadn't really tried. One evening, he stared at his laptop screen, blinking at a blank Word document that was supposed to be his personal statement for a university application. The deadline was in 6 hours. He had known about it for months, and now he was scrambling. He looked in the mirror and didn't recognize himself. Tired eyes, heavy shoulders, not from hard work, but from the heaviness of wasted time. Then came an unexpected moment. John bumped into Maya, an old classmate, at a local cafe. They hadn't spoken in years. In school, she had been quiet, average, unnoticed. But now there was something different about her. She walked with purpose, confidence. She was working on a research project at a major university and planning to study abroad next semester. John was stunned. "How did you manage all that?" he asked. Genuinely curious. Maya smiled. "I stopped waiting to feel ready. I stopped wasting time." Those words echoed in John's mind for days. I stopped wasting time. It hit him that he hadn't just been wasting hours or days. He'd been wasting his life, waiting for motivation, waiting for perfect circumstances, waiting for confidence, and in the process, he had let golden years slip through his fingers. The next morning, John did something different. He didn't overhaul his life overnight. He didn't make a color-coded schedule or a 30-day challenge. He simply sat at his desk, turned off his phone, and read 10 pages of a book he had been meaning to finish for over a year. It wasn't easy. His mind screamed for distraction. Every minute felt like an hour, but he kept going. The next day, he woke up early, not because he had to, but because he wanted to continue. He studied for 1 hour, then 2. He applied to 3 internships. He signed up for a free online course. One action led to another. He realized that discipline wasn't about making huge leaps. It was about choosing the harder path every day, about saying no to temporary comfort for long-term growth. Weeks turned into months. John didn't become a genius overnight, but he became consistent. He started small projects, joined a study group, began journaling every morning to reflect on his goals. He stopped waiting to feel like it. He started acting regardless of how he felt. There were setbacks, days when old habits whispered to him, when his friends called him boring for turning down parties or Netflix marathons. But slowly, people around him noticed something different. He was sharper, more focused, more alive. And the best part? He respected himself now. Not because he was perfect, but because he was trying every single day. 1 year later, John was invited to give a short talk to incoming university freshmen. He stood at the podium, palms sweaty, heart racing. He looked out at the eager faces and said, "I used to think I had time, that tomorrow would always come. But here's the truth. Every tomorrow you waste becomes a yesterday you regret. You don't need more time. You need to value the time you already have. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for motivation. You'll never feel fully ready. Just begin. Begin messy. Begin scared, but begin. The cost of wasting time isn't failure, it's becoming someone you don't respect." The room fell silent, not out of boredom, but understanding. Years later, John looked back on that season of his life, the turning point. He still wasn't perfect. He still had lazy days, made mistakes. But now, he understood the difference between rest and avoidance, between delay and growth. He no longer feared time. He honored it, used it, respected it, because he had learned the most valuable lesson life could teach. You can always rebuild your life, but you can never rewind the clock. So he didn't waste another second.